Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is iLevel and today we have some more F1 2020 MyTeam content. We are recreating the Jordan F1 team and rebooting them up to the top. Now if you missed the episode 1 which I released on Tuesday, make sure you go check that out. It was the introduction and creating the team as well as the Australian Grand Prix. Now we had two upgrades, the reliability upgrade and the chassis upgrade, but the chassis upgrade did fail. So now we're just making sure that goes back into development, and now we're getting a front wing guiding flap upgrade for the DRS, well, for the drag production. So hopefully our car will be more powerful in a straight line against the rest of the pack. Now we're just looking through all the rest of the driver market, corporate standings, and the standings in the championship. So we are currently 11th, and the team is in 6th. So that's great. But now, what do you say we head into the Bahrain Grand Prix? Okay guys, so short qualifying here. Just make sure the setup is great, just so that when we go out, all the stuff's fine. And just checking all the weather and just make sure the track is ready to go out on, which it looks like it is. So what do we say? We go straight out onto our first flying lap, which will be our first banker lap for this Grand Prix. So as we head round to the penultimate corner, as we head into the final corner here to start our flying lap, the T1 on the main straight. DRS is open, and we go straight at 207 miles an hour before we brake for turn 1, first gear 50. Slide out if you want to. Right, turn 2, turn 3. DRS is open all the way up to nearly 200 miles an hour. Back down to turn 4. Quite awkward turn 4 because we had that awkward turn on the outside of the traffic goes past 127.5 as we go through the assets. We're ready for turn 8. A little slide out there, but that's okay. As we head into turn 9 and the awkward double hander at turn 9 and turn 10. And then again we open the DRS ready for turn 11, which is very awkward off camera, right hand, left hand. All the way up to turn 12, it's a long swooping right hand. We got to touch this like all direction, we will get flown away from the track and they all to the end. Turn 13, just similar to turn 11, way back down to the final corner. And back to traffic is possible with 26.0. And what is our time going to be? DRS open. Our time is a 1:28.7 as we for our first banker lap. So why don't we head back to the garage, fast forward time, check how Nick Freeze are doing. So the track currently has 12 out of the 22 cars on track. Is Nick DeVries on track? Nick DeVries is not on track at the moment. Will Nick DeVries go on track? After our first moving time, we just need to make sure we do not do an Australia and leave ourselves with not enough time to do another flying lap. So we got over 3 minutes to go. And we've a little bit of the directly punished Alfa Romeo of what I believe is Kimi Raikkonen. So we're going to slow down for the Kimi Raikkonen, so space away from Kimi Raikkonen, but then that allows the Alfa Romeo behind and she overpasses as we head on our flying lap. With 40 seconds to go, well, 37 seconds to go, we start our flying lap again. Before we get our final time in qualifying, currently P19, down to turn 1. Go a little bit deep, so that right now our time we've got way more better traction since our bank back. So we're already 1.7 tenths up, 2 tenths up, as we head into turn 3. So we lost a little bit of time. We lost about 200 seconds, 300 seconds as we go into the essence. Slightly cut the first part, slightly cut the second part. Went wide a little bit, but overall we gained about 2 tenths of a second. Well, fine to see, but we have a massive tank back from out there. We lost all of the time that we gained in that first part of the lap. I'm going down for that awkward left hander. I did that way better that time. So we gained 2 tenths on that lap. On that corner right there where I am. As we head down to the awkward left hander that is turn 11. We lose a little bit of time as he uses the back end slightly there, a little bit understeering a lot as he goes that awkward right hander. So we've lost basically all the time again and he gets quite wide into the gravel. But overall, we're about at 8 for the second up as you head into the final corner. We gain more time, so we're about a quarter of a second up, 2.5 tenths. As we cross the line, what position is it going to be? I think we are P20. Yes, we are P20 on the grid, ahead of today's race.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Bottas, Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
So we are P20 just ahead of Nick de Vries, down in P21. So let's get straight into the race.
We're here again then at a circuit famous for its stunning visuals and thrilling battles for glory. Who will take the spotlight in the Bahrain Grand Prix today? There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best at turn 1 of course, and then another soon into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into the tight left-hander of turn 10. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, all trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you got your own race to run, I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Albon, Sainz, Ricciardo, Perez and Daniel Kvyat, Ocon, Stroll, Antonio Giovinazzi and Norris, Gasly, Raikkonen, Kevin Magnussen and George Russell, Grosjean, Power, De Vries and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Right then, so our strategy today then is the 1 stop, 6 laps on the stop to 8 laps on the mediums. And we go to 5 red lights ahead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And slides out and away we go. We go great fun. Let's go around the one and 2 laps. Brilliant. So we have to slow down into the right one. Then we go down here, so what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars here. But we squeeze with 3 wide with the Alfa Romeo and the Renault, but we get squeezed out onto the outside. But we get ahead of the Renault and the Alfa Romeo. The Giovinazzi comes back up our inside. Can we go around the outside of Antonio Giovinazzi? Yes, we can. It's a great start for us here. Bahrain. Now let's see if we can catch up to Mr. Alexander Albon as we go through the hairpin of turn 8, and then through to the double left-hander to 9 and to 10. We've got a little bit of time on that one as there's a yellow flag behind us. I believe that is for the Haas of Kevin Magnussen, as he got some slight damage to his front wing at the start of the race. Let's see if we can get a replay of Kevin Magnussen's start there. Yes, we can. Alright. So here we go. Kevin Magnussen is the middle Haas on the right next to the Williams. And there's his damage, I believe, from the racing point of what is, I believe, the 18 of Lance Stroll. Is very slow on the straight because of his right end plate damage. As we go back into that 3, into the awkward left-hander turn 11, Giovinazzi is 4 tenths behind us. We are struggling to keep Antonio Giovinazzi behind us here. As we go into turn 12 or turn 13, we go wide. And we get one for seeing the cat limits, but that should be fine. So it's our first point of the race. As we go now onto the starts finish straight there. Antonio Giovinazzi.
We're approaching the pit window.
Right behind
You'll be on the mediums. We're leading our teammate by 6.7 seconds.
Can we go around the outside? Yes, we can. Can we go down the inside of turn 2? Yes. We have gone down. We have got Antonio Giovinazzi on the straight. We got the DRS, but there's a yellow flag. Someone has an issue. Who has the issue? It's Alexander Albon, the Red Bull. Alexander Albon, the Red Bull, going
Green flag.
out of turn 4. Let's see what happened to Alexander Albon. So he had DRS on the AlphaTauri. Turns into turn 4 and then it's just slow out of it. So it looks like he has a mechanical issue and now he is out of the Bahrain Grand Prix, which is Albon, who I believe he got the podium last weekend at Australia. But as he heads to our pit
We're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
We are pitting this lap. So we need to try and keep Giovinazzi behind us here, and we are trying to push the car to its limit ahead of our pit stop. So can we keep Giovinazzi behind us? Giovinazzi is half a second behind us. Can we keep that half a second gap? That gap has extended out to 6 tenths. As we go through the S's there, we moved a little bit and then we get it back. And then as we go through the hairpin at turn 8. That goes to 7 tenths. But
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around
we
now.
lost 2.5 to 3 tenths there as we go into turn 10. And then we lost it there again. Now Giovinazzi is right on our tail as our rears are shot. And Giovinazzi just has it with the DRS and an overtake. But we go around the outside, but we go on the curbs. So that's the but we got more spin than Giovinazzi, but we make a massive dive and we hit Giovinazzi. That's no contact, well, no warning for the contact, but that was a clean overtake as far as I'm concerned. Because we are doing this for the points. We don't care about anybody else, we're just doing this for the points. And now we
Pit strategy complete.
and we
See
come
these
out
tyres
behind
through to
the
the end now.
of Sergio Perez. And we lose it. Trying to Sergio Perez is so slow to Alfa. But now with DRS on and overtake and Richmond. We need to try and catch up to Sergio Perez and Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri ahead of him. As we go through the S's, we've gone a little bit deep into the first S. That qualifying supposed to be for the second half. As we go into the hairpin, we go even deeper. And we slide on the way out, just to make sure. But then, as we go into the hairpin, we go even more deep. But as we head onto the southern straight, we have the hat of Bahrain Grand Prix as keep coming. But then we see Antonio Giovinazzi come out of the pit lane. Do we get Antonio Giovinazzi on the outside? Yes, we can. And we get the DRS. Antonio Giovinazzi from coming out of the pit lane. So DRS on everything in Richmond. As we head up to turn 4, do we keep ahead Antonio Giovinazzi? Yes, we do. So that was a great undercut by us, undercut Antonio Giovinazzi, and to keep ahead of that Alfa Romeo. And the key for us is that the Alfa Romeo and Antonio Giovinazzi is ahead of Roman Grosjean. Now because our car is as slow as a brick, we now have a team radio.
The car behind has boxed for the mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre.
So we're just getting team radio that.
Our gap to the car in front is 3.6 seconds.
And so it's both the mediums and the gap behind and the gap ahead is up 3.6 seconds. So Antonio Giovinazzi tries to go around outside. We should have to cut the car. But we get DRS for some spectacular reason. So we keep ahead with Giovinazzi on the side as we go ahead into the final lap.
This is your final lap of the race.
We're going to stay on board here, I think, for the whole of this final lap. As Antonio Giovinazzi is right on our tail. And he will get DRS coming up the straight into turn 4. We only have Richmond because we don't exactly have much battery left. But that seems Richmond seems to be okay for now. As I don't think Giovinazzi can use his overtake when getting that extra bit of horsepower that he needs to overtake. But as he had through the S's, we've gone deep on the first one and we go better on the second one, but through the hairpin we go slightly deep, that compromised our exit just a little bit. But as we go through double left-hander at turn 9 and turn 10, we have a massive tank stopper again as we go through that corner. And Giovinazzi is right on our tail. Giovinazzi will try to go around the outside. That's at turn 11, but we get the braking point perfect. And we stay ahead of Giovinazzi as we go around turn 12. As we go around the final corner, it will be 2 points for Jordan F1 Team as we head through to the finish line. 4 turns ahead of Antonio Giovinazzi. And we get
Take care of the car on the way in.
which is 2 points, which is great for our team. And I get driving it today for, well, not really an extra benefit, but whatever.
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the deserts. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
So well done to Valtteri Bottas, who gets the race win here, with Charles Leclerc in P2 and Lewis Hamilton in P3. So well done to them, the team guys, because they clearly got the roll on today. But as we head into the standings,
and now let's take a look at the driver's standings.
P9,
More points for Valtteri Bottas, further solidifying his lead at the top of the table. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Power. They did a great job at getting the most out of their tyres without losing pace, something that's a very handy skill to have in modern day Formula 1.
It's time to see how things are shaping up In the
We are now
Constructors'
P11 in
Championship, Mercedes
6
moved
points
to the
and
top of the
P8
table.
in the
There was also a
Constructors.
strong showing from the
With
McLaren team
6
today
points
as
to
they make their
we are
way up the
tying with
standings.
Racing Point.
It's been an
With
absolutely
Racing Point
wild
having
weekend of Formula
Sergio
One
Perez
action.
with only
I can't
with
wait to see
6
what's
only
next.
points. That means that Racing Point are ahead of us in the Constructors, but that's okay because then we're still tied with them. But now
Great work
interviews
out
with
there
Clark.
today. Let's have your thoughts. You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
Well, I mean, it's no secret, Claire. It's about having a great team and a great car for the
Do you
track.
have any comments about the
There's
collisions?
no way about it. No comment about the collisions. I just think they were just not necessary.
Well, here's hoping they're working hard to find some improvements.
Okay, so we got 16% more boost there as we go to level 4. So one more level, which we should be able to get now straight to Vietnam. We should be able to get our Staco sponsor, and we get extra 100k for that. So this race, which means that we now have 1.52 million to our names. So, what a great Bahrain Grand Prix, huh? That was a super race just for everyone, really. We had to try to keep the fight from the Alfa Romeo, Antonio Giovinazzi for the whole race as he was sticking with us. That was a flipping great race and a great fight with Antonio Giovinazzi, and we hope that we can do that next time around at Vietnam. But let's only wait. You can only wait and see. As now we have to do our timeline ahead of the Vietnam Grand Prix on the 2nd of April. And we need to try and figure out what we're going to do. But I think we're going to do second driver PR filming, funded team event, and some G-Force training because that's all the time we have for. So yeah, I think that's good. We spend it, and then we make it and we spend it. So then we have some upgrades which I believe are going to be coming ahead of the Vietnam Grand Prix, but that ICE upgrade, ICE durability upgrade will not come to us until after the Grand Prix. But I believe that that upgrade for the 6th of April won't come until after the Vietnam Grand Prix. So we'll have 2 upgrades in for China, which is great. But as we look into our finances, we are very good in our financing. As you can see, we are exponentially growing on the charts. As again, we look at the standings, as I have all the points, but in the charts, let's look at the facilities. So my MyTeam facility is looking good. We're just looking at what to upgrade. We could upgrade some bits in the simulator, but I would actually upgrade more bits of the personnel. So upgrade things at the simulator I think would be great. On the chassis side of things, I don't think we have enough money for any of that either. No. But on the message side of things, that's fine. So, if you liked the video, make sure you subscribe and check out the Vietnam Grand Prix, which will be on Saturday. But until then, see you next time. Goodbye.